Y'all are used to seeing me quite a lot different than you're seeing me right now. The title says it all. It's officially baby time. I have been on IVF medication for 15 days now. 15 very long days. I don't know why in my mind I thought that when it came to IVF that you were literally on IVF medication for like a couple days and then boom, the eggs were out and it was just gonna be this nice experience. And I don't know if it's because I've watched people on social media and we compress them into these like tiny little videos and we're like, yeah, this is it. No, this is it. I just took my final shot. I'm gonna cry. That's a huge part of this. I found out that women's normal hormones are like around 40 or 400. My estrogen is at 20,000. And apparently I'm at a higher risk for something called OHSS, which can be kind of scary. First, do you want to know what these are? These are not pimples, okay? These are boils that appeared on my face last night. And I looked, I'm like, oh, that's not a pimple. Those are blisters. And then I'm me, so I went to pop them immediately. So delicious, fun. Why? Can anyone tell me why? This journey has been humbling. Very humbling. There is nothing like shooting yourself with needles 3 times a day, inserting medication vaginally. Waking up at 3 o'clock. My trigger shot last night, it's timed, right? For a certain amount of time right before the retrieval. I had to get up at 3 a.m. and take it at 3 a.m. So here it is, spookiest hour of the night. I'm in the kitchen, eyes are barely open. I'm like, I'll think this is right. Slam it into my guts. I actually have some left out here because there has been things everywhere. Won't be like this when I have a child, but like we have the needles. I'm not going to show you the actual needle because I know I'm going to be kicked right off of YouTube, but this is one that I took and this one is that I took, and there's a third one but it's not in here. And then the trigger shots had like this much fluid, and a big question I had was, is Adam helping you take your medication? He would if I asked, but I'm a bit of a control freak and I just felt like it was going to be better if I could do it, so I gave myself every single shot. Fun things about IVF. You are going to be going to the clinic for monitoring every couple of days. For me, that's in Toronto, and I go to Create. So Create is like such a busy place. So many people go there. And I actually got hooked up with them through our surrogacy agency. Because a lot of people have been asking me, they're like, Selena, what's it gonna be like to be pregnant? I'm not having a baby. I am not physically going to be the one to have the baby. I can't. I have a eucorneate uterus and it's just not safe for me to carry because of my uterus. I have like half of a uterus, one fallopian tube. It's just not fun. I've been there. I've lost 2 babies in the past. Yeah, I can't carry, but CFC families, they actually reached out to me on Instagram and I linked up with them. And like, if you have ever thought about being a surrogate, I actually got to meet another one of their surrogates yesterday when I was at the clinic. But like, if you've had a baby and you want to do it for someone else, babe, you are the best human in the whole entire world. Every surrogate that I've met has been the sweetest angel in the whole world, and ours, she's led the way. She's taken my little fearful hand and led me down the path of not being absolutely terrified of everything. She's also done it a few times, which was just so calming to me. It's not like I didn't want a first timer because everyone's going to be a first timer at some point, but just being so scared after playing this like fertility game for 10 years, like having someone just take my hand and be like, this is next and this is what comes next and this is what we're going to do. It was liberating, and I owe her my life and I can't wait for us to have this sweet little baby. And that's the other thing, guys. It's gone. I have never been dumber, more emotional, angrier, and psychotic in my life. Like if I'm not hearing back from someone, I'm like, they hate me, we're not friends anymore. Or I am, C's almost gone there, I can't think of a thought. I'm like driving, I left my purse in the cart, and then I'm like, I shouldn't be driving. I literally stopped driving like 2 days ago because I'm like, lights are on. No, literally nobody is home. Last night was my last shot. The hormones, you know, I expected to feel worse. So I'm like, fingers crossed on that. I'm feeling so good. The fact that I am not crippled with anxiety, because I suffer with something called PMDD, something that makes me feel absolutely out of my body, like doom anxiety. Like I'm not myself before I get my period. Sometimes it lasts a couple days, sometimes it's like a couple weeks. I've been able to remedy it by taking some different supplements over the past like few months, but when it's bad, like it's really bad. And I was so afraid that this was going to be triggered by all of these different hormones and just just not be fun. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how it runs when I went for these IVF appointments. So of course we went for the first time, we told about our drugs, but what a normal day looked like is you would get there, I would leave at 4:30 in the morning, and I would get there at about 6:30. Then I'd wait in my car for 15 minutes, get upstairs for 7, you go, you do your blood work, and then you go and you do your ultrasound, so they're like checking your follicles, which was insane to see. I watched it and just seeing that like my ovaries are ginormous now and they're just full of all these like black bubbles. Those are the eggs, which is super interesting. And then after the ultrasound, you wait to talk to the doctor. So it kind of like wait, so I'll get there around 7, and then I usually leave anywhere between like 11 and 2 p.m. So like it's a long day. But I met some super cool people there, like some people who knew who I was, who approached me, and it was really interesting because there are people who share their journeys too, and like they just said like it's so important to share your journey, which is what I want to do. So I really want to leave the comments open below, and not just for me to comment, but for other people who have gone through this IVF journey as well, to kind of comment their experiences, because I have never been a part of such a loving community when it comes to other women who have been through, other people that have been through this IVF journey. Like, it is crippling at times. It is very isolating at times. The roller coaster of emotions that you feel, the questions that like you don't want to feel dumb asking, but like you feel dumb asking. The women who have shown up for me and said, Selena, this is what's next, this is the step, has blown my mind, and I've never been thankful in my whole life. So if you've been through this, or even if you haven't been through this and you just have questions, I really hope that you put them down below, because it's such an interesting experience. And I'm so scared for tomorrow. I don't want to cry. I have a really hard time with medical stuff. I do. And I'm fine with like taking blood and ultrasounds, but when it comes to any kind of sedation or anything, I have very crippling anxiety. I have a really hard time going to the dentist. Like, I go to a special dentist who works on like children a lot. Obviously I'm not a child. I look so strange. I'm not wearing any makeup also. We au naturel. I got those lash extensions, but I keep catching myself, and I'm like, you better work on this before your daughter comes, okay? Because she needs to see you love yourself as hard as you can, even though you do. Talking about reflection. Personally, me, I'm interesting. I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink caffeine. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't take any medications. I don't do anything that alters my being. I have a really, 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 really big fear of feeling out of control. And I think it kind of comes from my anxiety, and like self-medicating has never worked for me. Like, I feel most in control when I am sober and I'm in control of the situation. And I honestly just think that's because of like childhood traumas and stuff like that. So knowing that I'm going to be away from Adam and, you know, being under sedation. Also, I have zero pain tolerance. Like, it's really bad. I had a kidney stone a few years ago, and after that kidney stone, I could no longer tolerate pain at all. I don't know what happened when that kidney stone happened, or what happened to the pain receptors in my body. So I'm really scared, because if you've ever heard about the procedure for IVF, the doctor is going to go in with the IV wand, and then he's going to send a needle through the vaginal wall into your ovary and use a little vacuum to suck out the follicles. And they do twilight sedation. In America, you know, I feel like America has it down pat. In Canada, I just feel like there is not enough like pain things. So they do twilight sedation. And I got told that my doctor is the absolute best when it comes to twilight sedation, and he's going to make sure that I am out. Like, I am disappeared. And I even talked to him when I told him the other day, I said, you need to make sure that I'm not here for this. But that's how they do it. They like put a needle in, and then apparently the worst part, here I am thinking I just need to get through the injections and then the rest will be a cakewalk. No, apparently, especially because I'm at risk for OHSS, the most painful time for me can be after, and especially like trying to have a bowel movement or going pee. Apparently it's gonna be really, 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 really painful. So I'm getting this done now. The video here, and the reason why I wanted to film it today, the day before my is because my retrieval is on Friday, and I'm gonna find out how many eggs I have, and I'm posting this obviously today, which is Saturday, so I can add a clip saying how many eggs we got. But the crazy part is waiting after that, because once those eggs are taken out, then they get fertilized with Adam. There's no way to say this that isn't weird, that isn't gonna feel weird. And then we find out how many of them make it to being embryos. Then, because I've had so many miscarriages in the past, which could be, you know, just because of my uterus or if not, then we're sending them off for genetic testing to make sure none of them have abnormalities. And then within the next couple weeks, it looks like we will be transferring to our amazing surrogate. And I told my surrogate, I don't know if I can say her name, so that's why I'm just calling her my surrogate, because I just want to respect that. I need to talk to her about that. I told her, and I'm going to cry. Every single Christmas, I would go out, and I would go to Canadian Tire, and I would buy a baby girl ornament and a baby boy ornament, and I would hang them on the back of my tree where nobody would see them. And that would just be me manifesting that a baby would come to us in that year. And the last year was the year I didn't put them out. And it was just because I pulled that box out, and that box was so big and so full because we've been playing this game since 2014. That's 10 years. That's 10 years. I'm just very emotional right now. And I think for the first time, no matter how many different appointments I've had, no matter how many letdowns, no matter the thousands of dollars on pregnancy tests I've done over the years, it's the first time in my life where it just feels like this is gonna happen. And now I'm like, am I ready? I'm freaking out. I'm panicked, but I am. I'm ready, and I'm excited. And I feel honored that you guys are a part of this journey, and that you want to be a part of this journey, because a big truth is that when it comes to this, I wouldn't be doing this right now if it wasn't for you guys. Not only is this journey expensive, but I don't think I ever would have been able to connect with CFC families. I don't think I would have known the resources. I don't think I would have been visible enough for them to see me. So I just want to say to you guys, if you are thinking about being a surrogate, check out CFC families. And if you are, you know, within the area of like Toronto, I really do recommend Create. I feel like there's so many things I didn't touch on, so I'm going to be doing a part 2, obviously. If we're going to be finding out in December if this baby is coming or not. So obviously we would have some kind of announcement video like that, which is crazy, because every time I'd scroll, every person's scroll is full of like people peeing on pregnancy tests and people doing gender reveals and people doing all of these different, you know, things about pregnancy. And every time I scroll, I just be like, I will never have that. And now I kind of will. So, and we're speaking it into existence because it's going to happen, because we've spoken into existence. But yes, from here, enjoy some clips. Hopefully I'm high as hell in a funny way. Hopefully I'm high as hell in a funny way. And I hope I come to you with good news. I hope they got a bunch of eggs. It's gonna be really hard watching this back if something didn't go well.
What are you doing?
I was drinking beer and Gatorade today.
Yeah. You want a liter cola?
I was like, oh, it's Gatorade or Gatorade.
Yeah, a liter cola.
Pick your poison. I don't know, I see the light. I better not go in. Oh, it's you. I thought I had to go.
No, don't go to the light.